Hey everyone, this is Brian from ActiveMelody.com. In this lesson we're going to learn how to play a slow blues rhythm guitar part the way that Eric Clapton would approach playing rhythm. Most people show you how to play lead when it comes to Eric Clapton, but he has a kind of a unique approach to playing rhythm. If you need to download the jam tracks or the tablature for this lesson, you can do so for free at ActiveMelody.com. Otherwise, let's get started. So what I'm doing there, I'm playing just, if you think of the shape here, I'm kind of barring the first two strings, and then I'm putting my finger down on the, the first two strings on the 5th fret. I'm putting my middle finger down on the 6th fret, 3rd string, and then my ring finger down on the 7th fret, 4th string, or the D string. And I'm playing kind of an A like that, so I'm kind of ignoring the lower notes, just really playing the top 4 strings. And when I do that with my ring finger here, I kind of slide in to the 7th fret D string, or the 4th string, as the first note, or sort of the base of it. And then I kind of do this little hammer-on thing. And so what I'm doing there is, you play the D string, and then you bar the top 3 strings on the 5th fret there. And now I'm only playing the B and the G string, or the 2nd and 3rd string, just those 2 strings. But I'm hammering on with my middle finger onto the 3rd string, 6th fret. So you're going to want to practice that in the beginning, just doing that. Just do it over and over again. And it'll be a little clunky in the beginning, but over time you'll be able to do it. And now once you got that, you're halfway there, really. The next thing you're going to do is take your ring finger and bar the top 3 strings on the 7th fret. And again, you're only playing the B and the G string, or the 2nd and 3rd string. So, and then you go back and do that little hammer on again. So it's in slow motion, it looks like this. And that's really that riff. Now the cool thing is, once you get that conceptually, you can play it in all kinds of different rhythms. So you can play it, or you can play it like this. And that's, I think, how I was doing it in the demo video there. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of doing this real quick little hammer-on pull-off thing. It sounds more complicated than it actually is. But in the beginning, it may be too challenging to do that little kind of trill thing, so you may just want to do a straight hammer-on. Alright, so if you're a little more advanced player and you feel comfortable with the minor pentatonic scale, you can pepper in some solo licks in between those rhythm pauses. So you could do something like, or whatever you want to do. Something to fill the space. Now, you wouldn't want to do this all the time if you're playing with a band. That might be a little bit obnoxious. But there's times where it might be nice to kind of work a little something in. Now, if you're a beginner player and you're just learning this, ignore what I just said and just focus on trying to get the rhythm. That's the most important part of this lesson. So that's the A part of the song. Now, the next chord is the D. And so what we do, the nice thing about the guitar is, you don't have to relearn any sort of shapes or patterns. We just take exactly what we just did here on the, with this being on the 5th fret, and we move everything up 5 frets, and we're in position for the D part of the song. So everything that we just learned applies here, and we're doing it in the key of, or we're still in the key of A, but we're doing it over the D chord. So if you play a D chord, a bar chord, it looks like that. So we're right in position, just like with the A bar chord, we're doing that. Nice and simple. Now in that beginning demo, when I returned back to the A, I played this little run that got us to the E chord, which was that little run. Now, I just made that up. Obviously you can do whatever you want there, but I'll show you what I'm doing for that part, so you can at least use that if you want to. What I'm doing for that is I'm using my ring finger and my middle finger on my left hand, and I'm sliding up to the 9th fret here, the 1st and 3rd string, or the E and the G string. So we're skipping the 2nd string, or the B string. It's just those two. And you can see they're right on top of each other. And what I'm doing with the right hand is I'm using the pick for the 3rd string, or the G string, and then I'm using my ring finger to hit that high E string. So it's a kind of a combination of a pick and a finger. I don't do that a whole lot, but on these kinds of runs I do. Now, you don't have to do it that way. A lot of people approach this with just the pick. So you'd do a downstroke on that 3rd string, an upstroke on the 1st string, and another downstroke on the 3rd string. So you could do it that way as well. It's really a preference thing. I would recommend trying it with the ring finger. It might be easier for you, but if not, just use a straight pick. And so what I do there, that's the first one. The second one is the exact same thing, but down, you slide everything down 2 frets to the 7th fret. So, and by the way, slide into that first one on the 9th fret. You don't have to, but it gives it kind of a nice feel. And then I take my ring finger and go to the 6th fret 3rd string, and take my pointer finger and go to the 5th fret 1st string, like that. So we break the pattern a little bit and we go to that. And then I take that same pattern, don't move anything, don't move the pattern, but just slide everything down 2 frets again. So it looks like that. So the whole run looks like. And then the last chord is the E chord. And for the E chord, you remember the D chord was there. The E chord, you go up 2 frets from the D. So same pattern, but you've moved up from where you were with the D, you move everything up 2 more frets. So from the A, you're up 7 frets. And then we return back to the A and I play this little. And what I'm doing there is I'm starting with that same little hammer on, little bar there on the 7th fret like we learned. Then I slide into that position. What I'm doing there, middle finger is on the B string, 8th fret, or the 2nd string, and my ring finger is on the 9th fret, 3rd string, or the G string. And I'm just playing those 2 strings, the 2nd and the 3rd string. So it's, then I come back and go. And with that, I'm just doing that 7th fret bar, 5th fret bar, just the 2nd and 3rd string with both of those. Back to that 7th fret D string, then go. Do that little hammer on. Then you reach up with your middle finger and close it by hitting this 7th fret 5th string there, or the A string. And you may want to practice doing that over and over again, because you'd use that. I use that all the time. It's a good way to end, right before the turnaround. And then while you're there, while that middle finger's down on the 5th fret, or the 7th fret 5th string, it puts you right in place to play that E. It's really an E7th chord. And what I'm doing, I just leave that in place, and I put my my first finger down on the 6th fret 4th string, or the G string. I'm sorry, the D string, and I take my ring finger and put it down on the 9th fret G string, or the 3rd string. So I'm just playing those 3, the 5th, 4th, and 3rd. And it should sound like that. And that's really all there is to this little Eric Clapton style rhythm part.